As a gamer of a certain vintage, I recognize the irrefutable fact that the arcade as we knew it is dead. Long have we mourned over the plywood caskets of our favorite quarter munchers, wishing to recapture the magic that saw me and 5 of my best friends gather around the X-Men arcade game while we waited for a feature film at the Emeryville Theater to start. While fully decimated by the console and handheld market, the age of the internet and in-game monetization now means you can drop $5 in 5 minutes in order to go one more round. I'm looking at you, Metal Slug. Of course, the modern arcade bar has stepped in to fill the joystick-shaped hole in our hearts, but there is a reliance on nostalgia that keeps that industry running. However, deep in the heart of Brooklyn, just under the J train, a different approach is being taken. This is Wonderville, and it has quickly become the focal point to New York's avant-garde gaming scene. It's an indie arcade gallery where every machine has a story to tell and a passion for trying something new, and giving those stories a home are husband and wife owners Mark and Stephanie, who taught me all about the amazing community of developers, artists, and gamers they've cultivated into something truly unique. My name is Noah Waterman for GameRant, this is Wonderville, and it's time to hit the road.
All right, it is a cold winter in New York City, but we are now here in the cozy embrace of the neon glow of Wonderville, New York's premier indie game bar, which I think holds a lot of multiple meanings, right? It is an independently owned bar. It is a bar that focuses on indie games, and you're gonna see a lot of stuff that you're not gonna see anywhere else. These aren't old cabinets, these aren't your Pongs, your TMNT arcade games. This is all original stuff made by local indie devs, and it's cool. Everything from a standard arcade cabinet to even this above right here is a game. There we go. The ball right there. Oh, boom, I exploded myself. It's kind of wild to see what is and isn't interactive, the little playhouse here. So we're gonna start walking around and take a look at what we've got. The 80s corner here, in that we've got the light bright accompanying the VHS library. Perfect. Can't think of a better night out than a little saddle club with the boys over a couple of beers. And in the puffiest of VHS jackets too. I love this. This is great. This is, okay, that's really cool. Oh, here's something fun. Drip on the internet. But she did the tattoo right under here. So if you ever want a pixel tattoo, check her out. When you stop, you explode. Oh, so as much as when that wiggles back and forth, that actually very suggestive. Oh, that's a long one. Swag the dog, there we go. This is like the digital version of one of those pincushion toys that you kind of stick your hand or your face into. Let's help fill the basket, clean up the city. Oh, I feel like I'm pretty good at this. All right, now it's really hard. Oh, okay. A cleaner New York is up to you. People must come here high all the time. And again, everything here is original. Like, you don't see this at like a Dave & Buster's. It's just really kind of cool. Come on. I'm monologuing. You don't hit a man while he's monologuing.
Respect for my soliloquies aside, it was hard not to immediately jump from game to game to game. Luckily for me, everything is set to free play, which makes sense. Being able to experience something new is at the heart of Wonderville's mission, a core value that acted as a guiding light for Stephanie and Mark long before this place came to be. I sat down with these two over a deliciously warm hot toddy to learn a little more about how this journey actually began.
How do you guys define Wonderville?
So I like to say it's an artcade, and all of our games are a form of art, but I think then it became a community space, which has been so much fun and so exciting. Communities that we didn't know that we were gonna have versus the ones that we were very excited to have, like karaoke night, but it just keeps growing.
I always say 3 parts.
Yes.
That Wonderville is a bar, an event space, and a free-to-play indie arcade. And depending on who I'm talking to, I put those in different orders.
Yeah, right. So how did this all begin? First off, were you guys married and together when Wonderville was came up with, or was this like an HR issue in the making?
Almost. It was definitely almost an HR issue.
They happened simultaneously. We met at a place called Death by Audio. Death by Audio was one of these warehouse venues in Williamsburg from 2005 to 2014. When I moved in there, I was doing different things. I was playing in bands. I was kind of making different things, and I made an arcade cabinet. And it was like a MAME, a multi-arcade.
Right. And now, had you been doing like just kind of like standard MAME cabinets for a bit before then, or was this kind of like, I want to give it a shot, give it a try?
We had an old computer. I put a MAME emulator on it, and we had this wood lying around. It was such the wrong design and the wrong wood.
Right.
Buttons were like really far apart. It was really hard to play. But we put it in Death by Audio, and then in like 2010, we discovered Baby Castles.
Right.
So Baby Castles was doing all this really cool stuff in like around New York. They were at like museums. But I met some of those guys, and they were like, do you want to put like different games on this that aren't like, you know, arcade emulators?
Right.
So we did a gallery together in 2010 that a lot of those games were part of the Sports Friends package. So we had Hoka, we had Pole Riders.
Yeah.
And then I sort of started learning about the indie game scene. And it's funny, like Nidhogg was an entry point because we learned about Nidhogg. And like 2010, 2011, that was like the peak of indie couch co-op.
Yeah.
And everybody was making these local multiplayer games. So it was like the prime time to be like, I want to make arcade cabinets.
Yeah, it was kind of like that and Gang Beasts and a lot of these kind of like games where people were, you know, getting tired of just playing online and wanted something they can do locally.
So Mark was living at Death by Audio, but I had known that group for 2 years before that. And so I did their nonprofit, met Mark working door one night, and then started dating. And I helped with the first arcade cabinet, but I was like, this is gonna be a cool hobby. And then it was like, I want to make more. It's like, why do you want to make more? And it's like, well, there's more games. Like, okay. And then it was, did not know exactly where this was going. How far we were going to take this.
Well, we were in Wisconsin, and a friend of mine was going to their postdoc for like game design, and he was like, you should just hit up the NYU Game Center, which was pretty new in 2010.
Yeah.
So I wrote like a cold email to the list, and I was like, hey, does anybody have arcade games? I want to build cabinets. And actually the one behind us was the next one we built.
Oh, wow.
In 2013. And this was pieces of the Death by Audio stage. Like they had just built a new stage.
Oh, that's so
and I was like, what do you guys do with all this old wood? Can I make a cabinet out of it? But yeah, it was like, we started like Katamariing all of these developers into this group.
I love that. Perfect example.
I was just about to say, like, what a...
Also, just because I've been playing the new one, it's been fantastic.
Oh my God. That became Death by Audio Arcade. So I think this kind of started snowballing in 2018, where we started doing memberships. So now we had people giving us money. And we were sort of like, well, if people are giving us money, we need to do events every month.
Right.
And so this became a big ordeal, because now we're doing events every month.
And having to find space for it, and like even that, you're also competing with a lot of other people doing events at like breweries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was late 2018, early 2019 that our friends owned this building, owned the business in this building.
Yeah.
And it was Secret Project Robot. And we knew them from back in the Death by Audio days because they had a different Secret Project Robot like nearby.
With them, we actually did a pop-up at another spot they had, Flowers for All Occasions, which is down the street. And I remember I got there late and I saw you talking to Eric, and the two of you, like the glow in both their eyes. And
It's like, open a bar.
And I'm like, what did I miss? It's like, you have to open our own space. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Here's what you realize. Coming from a DIY venue, like we both did, Eric was telling me, he's like, if you open a legal space, you will actually make money. And we were all like, you know, Death by Audio and the first Secret Project Robot was like a warehouse. We didn't have liquor licenses. We did everything underground. And like all the artists and bands and whatever took all the money. So you really didn't make anything.
You were just kind of
You paid the
holding
rent.
box,
You
right.
paid the rent.
You were also
yeah.
like,
You're breaking even in
You're
order to keep the
breaking
business
even,
afloat,
yeah.
but otherwise you need the day job.
also,
Yeah.
God forbid the fire department ever shows up, and then you're like, well, this could end at any second.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was like, okay, we are adulting. We are gonna get a real business, and we're gonna get real licenses, and we're gonna do it the real way.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not much different from running a DIY venue.
You have the freelancing. You also have a job outside of this as well.
Yeah.
Like, how, like, most people can barely, a bar takes up almost all of their time. When do you sleep?
It's overrated. Lots of coffee.
I love,
This is why we looked at like disheveled. This is why.
Yeah.
You'll like wake me up at 3 in the morning and you'll be like, I gotta answer this email. And I'm like, can we wait until 9 a.m. for emails?
You guys feel as though Wonderville here was filling a need from the indie game community, or has it become the situation where now, I guess it's a little chicken and egg is what I'm trying to say, but like, are you here, therefore more people are making indie games in New York, to more indie cabinets, or were indie cabinets being made and therefore you found that need to bring them here?
It's a really good question, because I don't want Wonderville to take all the credit. I definitely think without it, it does leave you this whole, like, where do you put your cabinets?
Yeah.
And like when we talk to developers, it's just how big is it going to be? Because I don't want
space, especially in New York, is fine.
Yeah. And it's like, and I don't want to stifle anyone's creativity for their game, but if you make it more slender, I have a better chance of fitting it in here, because it's like we want to have. You hate to say as many games as possible, but you really
you do.
You want people to play.
It only benefits to, up until, it's a fire hazard. Like, it only benefits to have more, right?
There was, before Wonderville, a vibrant New York City games community.
Yes.
And there will be a vibrant games community after Wonderville. But also, this is also a result of me being a crazy person that builds arcade cabinets. So, like...
Yes, that is 100% accurate.
I mean, look, the space to, cut wood is not common in New York City.
I think about Death by Audio and how they manufacture guitar pedals, and they're like this big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I chose an art form that takes up so much space.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, what do we do now? Because we're in New York City, and where do these all go? And so Wonderville was sort of a means to an end, where it was like, driving a box truck around was untenable.
No, it wasn't.
So we have to do something that chills this out a little bit.
For someone on the outside looking in, who's interested, whether it be from an event perspective or as a developer, what's the best way for people to get involved in this scene?
Yeah.
Especially now with something like Baby Castles, which was very much a Kickstarter for a lot of people to get in, kind of not being as strong of a presence as it once was. Like, how do people kind of on the outside, maybe watching this video, learning about the whole scene for the first time, like what are the entry points?
I definitely think for events, it's just come. It's just start, Instagram or our website, just scrolling through the events and like what excites you, and just come. Come with people don't come with people
Check our events calendar.
Check our events calendar, definitely.
I also want to mention, I've always wanted to do this, wonderville.nyc/discord.
Oh yeah, well,
right?
Absolutely.
There you go, right there.
The bottom.
So we have a Discord, and like we have channels for talking about games, for talking about fabrication, electronics, and so like I think if you're not in New York but you want to like chat about some stuff like this, I'm in like 50 gaming Discords, and so there's a lot of online communities for doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I think like when I was making a MAME cabinet, I was just going on Reddit and forums and like looking at what people were doing.
Oh yeah.
So there's tons of entry points to like learn how to do this kind of stuff.
I guess my last question before we kind of like wrap things up, for anyone who wants to open something similar, you talk about how like some people are starting to do that and you're seeing more of that, and like anyone inspired by you guys, what advice do you have?
I mean, because we had so much dumb luck, it really is keep going at your idea, whether you found the right place yet, because for us it was, like there were the two that come to mind that I mentioned. Mark looked at the property and we talked about it, but it was like, we wouldn't make too many compromises. So it's like, if you know what you want that space to be and like what your intentions are with it, like how much are you willing to compromise and what? For us, I think the biggest compromise is we're not all ages. And Death by Audio was, and we both love the idea of it, but unfortunately as a bar, it's just
You
too
can't
hard.
do both.
I think there's something to be said about what's your business model, because if you want to open an arcade, and I think a lot of bar arcades where you pay to play on the games, people that are running those kind of spaces, they have to worry about how much a game makes. Does it make enough to stay on the floor?
Yeah.
And then you end up kind of gravitating toward crane machines. But like, I think because this is an art gallery, museum, that we are like, well, we're event driven. We get people in the door with events and they buy drinks or food, and that's how
But then they come back because they get hooked on some of the amazing games.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these amazing games, because there are plenty. Some that can be bought on Steam, some that have a little notoriety, and some that quite frankly can't be found anywhere else. It's hard to go over what makes each game here at Wonderville truly special. But we certainly tried.
So Filtered Baskets was made by Stowe. He's an artist, a longtime friend. The artwork that you're seeing is actual Department of Sanitation. I think it's like from the 60s.
Oh, so this was like this wasn't like, it looks like that, but this was designed to be.
It was designed,
Wow.
it was. Build That Basket, New York State Department of, so they let him use all the
Right.
artwork.
So Diebreaker debuted at MagFest in 2023, I want to say.
Okay.
And then it came to Wonderville. It's a 2v2 team game, and you have a puck. And so you can see like the color in the background of the screen determines who's winning.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
So Particle Mix has had a few facelifts. It's really one of the first, if not the first cabinet that Mark made. So, when he made this and I thought it was just gonna be a hobby, wasn't I now? The world succumbed.
Right. So what's the story with this one here? Oh wow. I mean, like, I just crashed and died. That took no time. Okay.
You need to make me look good. I appreciate it.
I wish. I mean, that's we're this co-op. That's not a great score if it's 3. Nothing else really looks like this.
So Arcade Commons, who is the nonprofit we collaborate with, they applied for the Brooklyn Arts Council grant. And the idea we had was to do a light gun game without guns. So basically, the moth will fly toward the most recent flame, but it cannot hit the flame and it cannot hit the edges. And this overhang is to kind of help isolate the light, because these are cameras.
So it's working like Duck Hunt.
Sort of. We went through a couple different gun ideas, and the best one was Sinden Technology makes light guns. We opened them. We put them in these candles.
Got it. So this is like the Time Crisis gun built inside of a candle,
Yeah.
basically. I could literally just do this for hours.
Same.
The game was made in a game jam.
Okay.
Rob, the developer, is currently in Osaka. This one was the floor model that was traveling, and when Rob went to Japan, he was like, do you want to hang on to this for us? So this is like...
This is like the prototype.
This is like
basically.
demo 001.
What is the Wonder Cab? Like, what is it? This is kind of the centerpiece for you guys.
Centerpiece implies like it has to be more or less comparative. It's more just we wanted to make sure whether we have the ability to move cabinets in or out, that we are getting a new cabinet every 3 months, but also somebody who's never done it before, right?
Right.
So it started with our backers from our Kickstarter
Oh.
in the sides. So these are all people that donated this specific
amazing.
level. So you submit, we have judges that will play the game, and if you're not selected, the judges are still going to give you feedback to let you know like what they liked, what they didn't like. And so it gives us an opportunity and gives hopefully the game dev an opportunity for the next 3 months to see how it plays.
So what is if someone has like a game to submit? Like, what's the process for that?
So WonderCab residency, you'll apply. It's a little bit of a form, and then we kind of do this opportunity submits with a key so we can download, we can play the game.
This is where the artist in residence lives. Tried to figure that out earlier. It seems as though it is both an adventure game and a Tetris game,
Yup.
which is
So
just.
you want to get the key.
Oh, I just blew myself up on that. All right, there's a blow up button. That's good to know. That's good as a blow-up button.
Yeah,
All right.
there's some mystery buttons too.
For a long time, we wanted a fighting game at Wonderville, and we were like, we couldn't figure out which one. So when we had this on the Wonder Cab, it was kind of perfect because it was just like, we love the graphics, we love the style.
It's gorgeous. It's a great a look. I love this. This is awesome. Nice touch.
Skylar, another example of going on the Wonder Cab and then getting to live on the Wonder Cab for 3 months and being like, wow, people loved it. It was amazing. Let's turn it into a cabinet. And I got especially excited because why aren't all our tables games? For some crazy reason, we're building this one in our backyard. It was for the summer months. And I remember it was like, it's 5 o'clock, you got to wrap it up.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, we're almost done. And then you've got regulars watching them and having fun, like seeing the build.
The story with Foiled goes all the way back to 2013. When I was first building arcade cabinets.
Okay.
I knew about Foiled, and it looked very different. It was very pixelated. There was like a red blob and a blue blob. And
very Nidhogg 1 versus Nidhogg 2.
Exactly. And Gabe, you might know because Gabe's been working on Baby Steps, Ape Out.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So
a prolific.
Wow, yeah. I was going to say, he's really got some big hits that have made it out there then.
Yeah.
Woo, baby!
Nice job.
It's so, it moves so well. It's so fun. If he watches this, bring this to the eShop. I would get full-on game nights out of this game. It feels so solid, it moves so good, and the aesthetics are fantastic. Getting one of these is not an easy feat.
So when we were opening, Josh and Nick of Bumble Bear were probably the first people we told in the community that we were going to do Wonderville.
Are they local?
They're local.
They are local.
Yeah,
I know this game's fairly well known, so this is like,
lucky to have Josh and Nick local. So you can see it's gotten a lot of love.
Yeah, so you said, because I mean, I know people order these, they send them out, but like you got this directly from their office. This is like an early build.
Much older build. Mark and the community, they come Wednesday, so there's a handful of regulars. A handful of them do know how to change parts.
Oh, wow,
so Mark has worked with them. They'll let us know if things are broken. We'll get new parts. We'll get things
love
fixed.
that. Very familiar with Nightmare Cart because the whole story behind it being a fan game that got shut down.
We showed it at Wonderville, but I was very hesitant to build a cabinet for it. So I was like, I don't want to deal with lawyers or like, you can't have this cabinet anymore. So there was a time when I was like, Lil, I have like some cabinets that I made for a client. Maybe we could repurpose them and then you could have it.
Yeah.
And it's not.
And you can do something with it. Like, then that's something less formal, more casual. I mean, the fact this is as pristine, when you serve beer and this is as nice as it is very shocking.
The smart thing about this design is you can't put a drink anywhere. So
you just covered it in stuff. So that's great.
Like, where do you find? You have to put it over here. Sorry. But no, it's so cool. Like the shifter and like the blood meter.
Yeah.
These Mixie tubes are your track.
Oh, so these aren't just decorations. These also interact with the game.
Oh yeah.
That's wild.
So funny enough, they were in Mark's NYU arcade building class.
Oh, great.
This was their final project, and they took it and continued to work on it. And once it was in a state that we knew that it was strong enough,
ready to deal with people with beer.
Exactly. Yeah, like making sure that the plastic over, the acrylic over, so you could protect the buttons a little bit better.
Kill enemies, collect gems, don't die.
Don't die.
Don't die. That's an important lesson.
They applied for the residency program and they got it.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this game is it is a low score, high score game. They brought it in, they were like, yeah, 70, 75. And so then one of our regulars made this
just crushed it.
they got it to wrap. Because they're like, nobody will get past 999. And at first it did.
Hover Burger was made by Nick Santinello and a few of their developers. So Mark knows how to fix it, but he was a little less involved in this one. Crowd, people love it.
Oh, so this is interesting. These things up here, does this change the way the game's played?
Yeah, it changes some of the views. So once you get started, happy to mess with it for you.
Oh, let's see, yeah. I made a Flappy Bird joke earlier, but this really is kind of like oh, don't hit the walls, ooh. But working with a spinner here, I feel like you only see these on the very select arcade games anyway. It's very interesting to find one on something like this. It's like how I drive in the rain. Okay, this is down. Oh my God, my meat's getting beat. This is not good.
And I also love the screen up here.
Yeah, I feel like I wish I could look at it.
Right, you can't look at it.
I guess it's a perfect example, right? Like one player, but I get to look at all the, things going on while you're playing.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Every game, a story. Every developer, a member of the community. It's absolutely wild, and we still didn't hit everything. Partially because I'm trying to keep this episode under a time limit, but also because we had to make way for a very special event. See, tonight was a monthly tournament where two members of the community, Frank DeMarco and Blake Andrews, bust out their show-stopping game, Scrapeboard. Part Dance Dance Revolution, part Tony Hawk Skate, this one-of-a-kind experience sees you scraping across the floor as you take on robots, goth girls, and legally distinct drink mascots. I plan to try my hand at the game, but before I look like an even bigger fool on camera, I wanted to learn a little more about this truly unique project.
We've seen a lot of rhythm games done before, but it's a very different way of doing it. Like, was it the skateboard aspect? Was it Dance Dance Revolution aspect? Like, what was the kernel of the idea that came to this?
Yeah, so it's a funny story actually. We started with the skate deck. It wasn't intended to be made into a game, but what was special about the skate deck was it was signed by Tony Hawk.
Oh,
yeah, basically we got the board from Tony Hawk, and Frank originally wanted to turn it into a GameCube controller.
Right.
Like a really long...
So just have the buttons on so that you would have like that.
Just like gigantic.
We had a racing game that we thought about doing. I had this idea of we were just going to cut it in half and we were going to turn it into a GameCube controller.
Oh,
and like
interesting.
I do still kind of want to do that.
And I was like, that's really stupid.
But I'm glad that we ended up doing this because that was like 10 years ago and we're like still bringing this game out and we're still working on this game and improving it.
We made the prototype like really quick, and then it was really bad 8 years ago, but we were like still having fun with it.
Right.
So we just kept working on it.
So you said you guys did this, started this 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been around almost 10 years. It's almost 10 years. We'll have a party at Wonderville for the 10th anniversary.
That's great. So what does finished look like to you? Or is that a moot point? Is there never a finished?
That's a good question.
I mean, that's the other thing is like, this has gone through a million different iterations. You can even see the differences between the two.
Yeah,
it's there, but it's just like whenever we want to stop working on it.
So like one version would be like you have this at home in your garage or in your backyard.
Yeah.
Maybe you can fold it up and bring it to a friend's house.
Right.
And they do link up. So like if you have one, you potentially could like bring it to your friend's house, and like if your friend has one, you can link it up and play together.
Yeah.
Like the first one was literally made out of cardboard.
Right.
That could have been finished, right? We could have just called it quits then. And then we had it like, it was like a rug, and it was made out of like, I like stole a bunch of no skateboarding signs outside of like this grocery store near my house. And those were the metal pats, because we were like, where do we get metal from? And I was like, oh, I know. And I like unscrewed them because I was like,
that's fantastic.
This is plug and play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it comes with a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, yeah, can we see under the hood? Let's take a look.
So this is true plug and play technology.
So it's just running on a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, it's running on a Raspberry Pi, and the wires come in and plug into the pins of the Raspberry Pi. And if you have any sort of display that would connect to a Pi, basically HDMI.
Yeah, any HDMI.
Right, exactly. Any HDMI, you plug HDMI in, you turn it on, it boots straight into Scrapeboard, and you start playing. This is a mini Arduino, a micro Arduino.
Uh-huh.
So the micro Arduino is on board the platform, and then the micro Arduino plugs into a Raspberry Pi. But it can also plug into any computer.
So then what's happening here is I notice you've got the metal on the board itself. You remove the wheels, it's like this. So it's just sensing metal on metal contact? Like what?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, no, exactly. The circuit is really, really simple. Like all it does is complete a circuit. The signal travels through the metal from one pad to another. It's like very
so it's more like connecting these pads. So this doesn't actually have any electronics on it. There's nothing buried underneath at all.
Nope.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's how it works, but how does it play? It sounds simple enough. Match the squares to the ones that light up on screen and defeat the boss. But as someone whose idea of exercise is chasing a 2-year-old around the house, this made DDR's fastest difficulty look like a 90s edutainment game in comparison.
Okay. Oh. What? I'm going to join the tournament, absolutely. But holy hell. That is a workout.
We're going to start the Scrapeboard Tournament. Yeah, so if you want to sign up, it's going to be $1 to enter. And if you win all the dollars that have been entered into the contest.
Cameraman Dan got to play, and I want to get your thoughts on the experience, because you also have not been here before, right?
I have not.
So what did you think? What do you think of Wonderville, and more importantly, what did you think of playing Scrapeboard?
It was a lot of fun. It reminded me of having folded up DDR pads permanently wedged into people's trunks in high school. You know, it's challenging. I'm glad that I was on the job, so there wasn't too much vitamin A involved. I could see somebody easily eating it. But you know,
That's a good point. The fact that nobody like busted ass on this at a bar in New York, like a deep Brooklyn, is insane.
it was kind of funny. Like some of the arcade cabinets were kind of bopping up and down, and all of the drinks were shaking like Jurassic Park when people were really getting into it. Certainly when I was on it, because that's a lot of dude to be jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Connor versus Noah.
All right. Oh, wrong way. Oh my God.
Give it up for Connor.
Why am I
46.5.
Why am I dizzy? Why am I dizzy?
So in case you couldn't tell from my old man just got off the couch reaction, I didn't get very far in the tournament. But that's okay. I came with friends.
We're in the finals right now. It's been down to the wire at this point. It's been nuts, and it's been 2 people who I invited here, which is a little embarrassing, but it's fine. It means I have good taste.
Oh my God! Let's give it up for Blaze, winner of the December 2025 Scrapeboard Tournament at Wonderville.
Not only do I know Blaze well, but I actually met him here at Wonderville. You came for the second World's Greatest Gamer Tournament, right?
That's true.
Yeah, and it's wild. It's like because you live nearby.
Close enough to be here too often. You know?
Yeah, and you're big on the Killer Queen cabinet.
Yeah. Every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, come through. You know?
So you just won this. You've done this a couple of times now. Like, was Wonderville like a natural discovery for you as a gamer, or did you did you seek it out first and then come here, or did you stumble on it and be like, what is this magical place?
Both. I stumbled upon it. What's this magical place? And it's a natural place for me to go because I used to hang out in like arcades, younger me.
Yeah.
So, you know, to find a place that has an arcade and it's free to play, kind of easy to kind of show up and not have to like shell out quarters constantly. And you know.
It's truly a reinvention of the genre to come to a place like this, and what feels like a standard arcade. But then you look around and see the care and love put in to every single game. It really provides the human element in gaming, to know that each of these were made not by a huge corporation, but by an individual who truly loves the medium and wants to do something new with it. Is this an art gallery? Is it a bar? Is it an event venue? Can it not be all three? The term arcade feels a little like eye-rolly, But it's true. If video games are art, then the arcade, in order to exist as a medium, needs to adapt to that. And I think Wonderville is on the forefront of something very special. The DNA of Wonderville is built in baby castles, but the DNA of the video game indie scene is being built upon Wonderville. That's a pretty exciting thing. So I highly encourage, if you're in the New York area, come out to Brooklyn, check it out, play a game or two. By the time you get here, this airs, it's gonna be a whole new set of games. Who knows what they'll have out there, and that's kind of the fun. It keeps you coming back for more. And if you like this and want to see more places like this, or better yet, if you have a suggestion for other places doing something similar or even more cool, drop them in the comments below and keep watching. But for everything else, in gaming, in culture, and in the indie scene and beyond, stay tuned to GameRant.